Record and
Yeah,
we're live. So
yeah,
just
yeah,
go ahead and go. This is session 2 with Lorenzo. All right, go ahead and go.
yeah, perfect, man. Thank you for having me again, Paulie. So that brings us back to where we left off from last week, which was what what type of environment
Hmm.
is the people in my space as far as like YouTube goes, like the I'm going to speak about like the trucking industry and everything like that.
Hmm.
So what I noticed was a lot of the guys, they they are speaking from their trucks. The ones that get the most views, they come, they're actually truck drivers. They're inside their trucks and everything like that. So I noticed that. I noticed that based off from the comments that the people that are viewing these guys inside the trucks are like actual truck drivers themselves. And remember, I told you last week that the guys rant a lot. They just talk about like what's going on, in the trucking industry and like what loads they're on and
Right.
stuff like that. Yeah, not really teaching, in a way. So the guys are really like letting time pass them by, and the people that's watching is pretty much doing the same thing, just
Yeah.
staying engaged to let time fly by. So nothing was like really like informal or I don't know, teaching people.
Okay.
I know they do have stuff on there, but the visibility on that is like very low, not unless you type it in. When you type in trucking, if the first word, if you type in trucking, it's going to say basically like how to drive a truck or
Sure.
stuff like that. I noticed, yeah, that those things were getting upwards of 2 million views and stuff like that. How to back a truck, how to operate and drive a truck. So based off my observation, that showed me that, a lot of people are getting into, how to actually, drive these trucks and stuff like that.
Hmm.
And me, the approach that I want to take, I'm telling somebody, like take 50 grand, go out, buy your own equipment and
Yeah.
be in this position. And that kind of brought me back to what you said though. So it didn't discourage me. I didn't lose focus, but I looked at it as, okay, maybe I may not get as much traction as I want because I'm not teaching people how to drive trucks, but I will grab, hold of that small community. I remember you said just start small, dude. You said start small. So the space that I want to be in is it's not too many people, speaking on it or whatever, as far as like take the money that you have, invest it and buy so on and so forth. People are a little less riskier now, and just in my opinion, because of all that's going on, they're trying
Yeah.
to preserve as much as they can because they don't know the next time that
Yeah.
they may have something. So if I can ask you, uh as far as like, that being my focus, do I continue to push in that area, or do I adjust and enter, these other spaces with
Yeah. Right. So here's the most important thing of any successful business:
yes.
starting, iterating, and not stopping. So
Okay.
the ability to start, you will not know everything right away. Go ahead and get a pen or something if you want that. So no one knows even close
Yes.
to all the things that they're going to need or what they're going to look like. And you're still in the room, right?
Yes, sir. I'm still here. Sorry about
Okay.
that.
No, you're good. No one's going to know what the end's going to look like, nor will they know all the things that they need when they start. So the decision to start is needed. The decision to iterate. All you're going to be doing, Lorenzo, is testing different ideas. You have no idea if one idea is going to have 5 million views or 5 views. Because you said those guys were getting 2 million. Okay, great. There's a lot of how-tos. but yours could be the next thing to have 5, or it could have 5 million. So you don't know. So iteration is number 2, starting and then iterating. And then number 3, the only thing that you got to do left to make sure you succeed is don't stop. You just got to keep testing. One of them, statistically speaking, is bound to hit the market. It's bound to. So yeah, I think you are more than fine. And also I wanted to say this from the perspective of employees versus business owners, which are there more of in the world?
Employees.
Exactly. So you should expect your market to be smaller. So,
Right.
so when you're saying that there's a lot more people looking at the how-tos to be a trucker rather than owner, well, you are right. There's going to be less owners in general. So the goal is to just potentially draw some of those people who would be owners, or maybe who are truckers now, and then, get them to look at doing that owning stuff. So yeah, you're good there.
You just make it seem like so easy, dude.
I mean, it's kind of, I don't know, maybe that's just my perspective on it, but.
No, that's great, man. That's great. Okay. First, test different ideas and don't stop.
Don't stop. Yep.
So that was YouTube.
Okay.
That was YouTube. So in terms of environment on Instagram, because I focused on Facebook and Instagram, since we last, Instagram and YouTube since we last talked, since we last spoke. And I ran another, I was telling you this earlier, I ran another ad on IG. And I remember last week you was like, dude, $20 and you spent $400. That's like horrific, dude. And I want to send you the stats so that maybe you can post it up along with this video. So with we spent another $400 just testing it, but we took a different approach. Instead of more profile views, we actually did, and I took your advice on this because you said, when my brother sends me something on Facebook, I probably won't even look at it. He sends me something on Instagram, I know that it's, it's quick, I can see it. And then YouTube is something that I really gotta like sit there and probably, have that kind of engagement in it and watch it and look forward to learning. So on Instagram, what I did, the approach I took was, instead of more views and more profile visits and views, I did more messages. And dude, I just said, let me go with it. I had an extra $400. I said, I'm gonna run this ad. I did it on 2 of my my highest posts. I had 143 likes on one of them before I did it. And the other one I had about like 300 views. Now, dude, I got about like 5,000 views on it, and maybe anywhere from 300 to 400 messages from people asking me, man, how do you do this? How can I get into it? And I'm just like, man, I was thinking about you because you said, man, how are you going to handle, I'm not sure if we were on recording or if we were on the phone that day. You said, how are you going to handle this when it comes to you, bro?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, dude, like, man, it's bananas. It's still going on now. That's why I was trying to hook it up to the computer, to Zoom me into the computer, because I didn't want it to interrupt like our call or anything. But a lot of engagements, do more messages. These people, I don't know how Instagram is doing it, but I'm getting messages from all kinds of people, dude.
Dude, so if you're doing this right now, think about when we start doing the ads together.
I know, man. It's going to be bananas, man.
It'll be fun. So, it'll be fun, especially across the different platforms. I mean, I'm telling you, bro, there was a reason why, and again, we're going to have to come back to it, but there's a reason. I'm not lying when I say, like, get your philosophies right, bro. Like, because when it comes, dude, like, that's the thing. Like, and when I was saying to you, 500 to 10,000 followers, believe me, when I say that can literally support you for the rest of your life. Yeah. You don't need a lot.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and yeah, this is literally just the beginning, dude. Like this is literally with you having whatever videos that you've already put out. We haven't even started talking about specifics yet. This is
Mm-hmm.
before you have any testimonies. This is
Yeah.
before we're doing. I ain't lying. Okay, so
You ain't, man.
so so get so seriously, spend time, bro. And I don't know, and we'll talk about this as well. But like, spend time in your head, man, because you don't want success to be your downfall, which is crazy to say, but you don't want it. So, um, yeah, we gotta make sure we hone those down.
We gotta tighten that up, dude, because it was coming, and these people were just like, man, how do I do it? How do I get started? You know, what did it take for you to get there and everything like that? And I changed my name. That was another thing that I did this past week, if I can mention, because you told me that too. You was like, dude, you know, maybe this day you could focus on this. It doesn't all have to be trucking, because
Right.
everybody may not have a license. And that a lot of the stuff, a lot of people that was sending me messages, because one of my videos, it has said I went to go pick up a load, and it was a bunch of snow like barricading my load. And I set the camera up and I went over to it and I put I typed on the photo or the video and I said, would you remove this snow for $1,000? Or would you do this for $1,000? And everybody is like, shovel snow for $1,000? I'll get that out there. I'll come do it. Like, how can I be a part of it? And so on and so forth. And then my response was like, man, well, the trucking industry has a lot of opportunities like this for us. It's not just driving. You can do all kinds of things. And you kind of told me this, but a lot of people don't even have their license, you know. A lot of people didn't have their license. A lot of people didn't even know this kind of stuff existed, you know. So I don't know, man. It was bananas, dude. But a lot of people, they wanted to know, man, how can I make this kind of money? How can I do that?
Yep.
Yeah, man. I had another video. I'm gonna mention this. This is my last one. This me? You
Yeah.
good? You there? All right.
Your camera just went out. There you go.
Okay. Sorry about that. But my I had another video where I told the guys, I said, I remember it used to take me all week, 60 hours to make you know, $1,000. But, you know, with me not settling, you know, for less in my negotiation, I just earned $1,000 in an hour or whatever like that. I could show you how. And everybody was like, how do I do it, dude? How do I do it? And it was coming so fast, man, just like you said. And I believe I responded to almost everyone. But I believe like some of them I should have had like better
Hey,
responses.
hey, you know what? And that's okay too, because frankly, dude, some you're gonna have perfect responses on, then they're not gonna act. Others you're gonna have imperfect responses on there. Like, dude, that was like amazing. So
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna get better with that over time. That's fine. That's no worries there.
Okay. But man, you're just so sure, dude. You're always so sure.
I mean, if anything, if I appear confident at all for any reason, um, it's probably just because I spent a lot of time with it. Like, it's just a matter of fact, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. So, um, did you? So here's well, I won't go into it yet, but did you take down a lot of the questions that the people asked?
So I saved I basically like highlighted who I wanted to go back to, because some people were just majority of them were just saying how and some other guys, you know, they wanted to know. Maybe out of that 350 people were like serious about
Sure.
doing it, you
Right.
know. So yeah,
Right.
I I um I actually invited them to like
Smart.
a Zoom on April 24th. I set it for April 24th, and I'm basically going to use that opportunity to basically tell guys how I got into it,
That's dope.
and yeah, and so on and so forth. And I was going to mention earlier, I changed my that's what I was saying. I changed my
Mhm.
Instagram name, and I got it I'm getting it trademarked. It's from poverty to penthouse.
Hey.
Uh, yeah, I changed it. So poverty was the way that I used to think. I had this poor mindset, and so when I have them looking at poverty, it's not actually being out, poor or without, but it's a mindset,
Hmm.
having a poor mindset, and then penthouse being at the very top,
Right.
So I changed that. A lot of people like the name, so they were curious. They were just like, dude, I'm curious. Like what does that mean?
Hmm.
Or
Yeah.
whatever like that. So,
Curiosity is one of the most powerful things that you can invoke within people. So as much as you can, invoking curiosity. That's
okay.
that's a good thing that you did. Whether you did that intentionally or not, is good. That's
Yeah,
invoking that.
I just did it to kind of see what the outcome would be. I met another guy. He went to the Grant Cardone thing with us. Um, back in 2017, he was in that mentorship. So I
Nice.
actually met some good people that can add value to what we're doing.
Good. Good.
So yeah. So that was that.
Cool.
So how was your week with everything?
It was good. Let's see. I don't have too many new things this month. As we get into the nitty gritty, even together, um,
Mm-hmm.
I was actually going to, with next week, not with this one, but with next week, possibly start screen sharing with you, and we can start running some ads together. And I'll launch mine with mine, and you can launch yours with yours, and we can just do simple iterations. So in the coming weeks, I think that there will be a lot of possibly new things to talk about. But I've been kind of like you, just been preparing various aspects along with school, and I'm also in my last month of the semester, so I'm kind of wrapping up some things here. So
Man, that's huge, dude. That's huge. Congrats. You
thank,
made it.
thank you. Yep, it's close. So then we either got one more semester or three more. We'll see kind of where that takes us. But either way, bro, I'm like yourself with this going online and getting it to work, bro. I'm looking forward to it. So that's why
Are
we're
they
doing it.
are they making you guys go online? Well, I know Florida has lifted a lot of the restrictions, right?
No, dude. So actually, this summer we are going to be pretty much going back fully in person because we've been online.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. No, I was talking about for me with life insurance and for you with your trucking for going online. That's what I was talking about in reference to that.
Yes.
Yeah. So, but this week, what I wanted to do with you, and this is why I said it's in reference to um, maybe perhaps some of the messages that you got, is I wanted to help you map out. And I know we talked about this a little bit last week,
Okay.
but I wanted to help you map out the next 7 days or so of content that you can decide how you want to make that content for each of the platforms. But I wanted to map out at least 7 days with you. That way we can look back on tangible things and, knowing that part of what we did was, fully aligned with your message, fully aligned with who you're kind of going to go after. So I just wanted to do like a little 7 day content plan with you for this week.
Okay. All right. That's perfect. I like that.
Perfect.
That's what you were so excited about. I'm
Yeah, because
excited.
that's what I was saying. I was like, I wanted you to make sure you had all the stuff that we've talked about this past month kind of on hand and ready to go. Um, that way it can be a practical 7 day planning. Then all you're going to do is just repeat, repeat, repeat. And then eventually, maybe you might not even plan a full 7 days out. Maybe it'll just be picking up the phone and just recording because now you know how to talk to the camera and you know who you're going after. You know what I'm saying? Like it
Yeah.
eventually just become natural. But sometimes it helps to plan out in the beginning because, you're like, yeah, what do I talk about today? Sometimes there's like so many things to talk about that your brain goes blank, and then other times you're like, nah, dude, like it's just blank. Like I don't know what to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
So let's do we're starting tomorrow. We can have tomorrow as day one.
Okay.
That's gonna be an Easter one. So tomorrow being day one because you want to be putting out content on a daily basis with it. So
Okay.
cool. Okay, so your preference was doing videos, right?
Yes.
There was hesitation.
Well, yes, doing videos, that's a preference that I have. Um, not very long videos, just something short to capture the attention of the people, then maybe like some, some engagement,
Sure.
via text or something like that, or a phone call or Zoom. But I don't want the videos to be like real long, almost
Sure.
like a
Yeah.
teacher.
Yeah. We're not going to, you can go over how you want to do the videos. This could take 2 minutes or it could take 10. We just want to talk about, hey, what are you going to talk about each day? And then I want you to tell me how that's going to align with who you're trying to be to the world and then who you're trying to go after. So all I want for me to kind of go back and forth with you right here on this next 7-day period, or right
Yes.
now, but planning the next 7-day period is, what do you want to talk about each of the next 7 days? Like we'll plan that right now. And then I want you to tell me how that's going after the people of what you told me, who you wanted, and how it aligns with like who you want to be online. So what would be like, you can tell me which days you want to do which, but what would be 7 different things that you want to talk about that all align with your pillars of content that we talked about, that you may remember, those 3 pillars of content that you said that you can talk about pretty much forever.
Mm-hmm.
How does that align with the people that you want to go after? And how does it align with, kind of what you want your presence to be online? So do you have any thoughts right now as far as a video for tomorrow or a topic for tomorrow, what you want to talk on?
Yes. So that's a great question. The first one I always wanted to talk about was, how I got started
Okay.
and where I came, how I got started and where I am now.
Okay. So go ahead and write that down for Sunday. Just write how I got started and how you got to where you are now. Which, by the way, I wanted to throw this in there too. Sometimes what I'll do, let's say I have one topic, but 2 parts just like that. Something that you could do is do a how I got started. And then Mondays could be how I got to where I am now. So sometimes you can break up if you want. That way you're, getting more views, you're getting more engagement. Sometimes, it just makes it easier to watch too. You don't have to, but that's a tactic as well, which we're going to start getting into different tactics, but you can do that as well if you would like.
I like that. So how I got started. Okay. And then how I got to where I am now. I like that. I like that a lot.
Which you just got to be the judge too. And sometimes you just got to test this of which is more effective. Sometimes it's more effective to have both of those together, like a full, hey, kind of congruent thing. Other times you can tell your whole beginning journey and it's like, okay, watch the next video to see how I got to where I am now. And then sometimes they click, sometimes they don't. So you got to be the judge of that one. But I just wanted to throw that out there as a possibility.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. That actually makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
So don't let me, I'll go back on what I was going to say. Let's move on to number 3.
Okay.
So day 3. So I have 1, I have how I got started. 2, I have how I got to where I am now. The 3rd day, I would like to talk about, the mindset. Oh, well, would that be how I got to where I am now?
No, bro, you're going to be, remember, you're going to be repeating these things over and over and over again. So honestly, even though you're doing your first video, and I'm going to put that in quotes on how you got to where you are now, I hope you realize as more people come, you're going to tell that story thousands of times. Hey, bro, let me tell you. Hey, bro, let me tell you. Hey, let me tell you. Because you're going to keep getting asked.
Right.
It's just like a testimony when people get saved. It's like, okay, you ain't going to stop telling it just because you told it one time. You know, like this is like your testimony within business and within trucking. It's just your story.
Right. Right.
So, okay. So Wednesday is mindset.
Yep.
Okay. Or I
So
should say
for
the third one, that would be Tuesday. But what's the fourth one?
so the fourth one would be, remember, I wanted to talk about, I wanted to discuss finances and stuff like that.
Okay. So what's a topic within finance that you want to discuss?
Um so the first video I want to show people, how to actually, you know, get the money. So if is credit a part of finance? Would that be a part of
Yeah,
finance?
you betcha.
Yeah, man. I would love to talk about credit.
Okay. So can I throw a suggestion out there just to be um, a little helpful with this in terms of multiple videos?
Yes,
Which
sir.
you can put this kind of as like sub points because maybe you can talk about it next week, or you can even just do this for this week because I kind of want to hear you keep talking about ideas for this week because it could possibly turn into like 10 to 14 days depending on how much you talk about. But
Right.
one thing that you can do too. So you said I want to talk about how to get credit.
Yes.
I'm familiar with the whole process. So you realize there's multiple steps to it, but then there's also how you learned about how to do it. And then there's also your story with you actually doing it. And then there's the steps. So understand even within finance, within credit, and within how to obtain it, there's even three things within how to obtain it.
You
There's
can.
how you learned it, and you can even do more of those things. You
Hmm.
can probably divide that up. There's what you actually did trying, and then there's what I learned. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
like, there's literally so many different things that you could talk about even within that. So I'm just voicing that out there to let you know kind of some of the stuff that I've done as well. As you think about these things, you're not just going to create a one and done video. Like these things are
Right.
infinite because they're just experiences. And frankly, people want story with the practical. Like that's the best way of teaching. So just wanted to throw that out there as a like kind of like a little nugget for you to hold on to when you're talking about some of these things.
I like that because I was just gonna go right into educating, So with that story being attached to it, that will make a big deal.
Or you could even say like kind of doing like some type of hook like you ever wanted to start a business but like you literally had no idea where to start because you didn't have the money for it. Like that can be
Yeah.
like a type of question like that's a hook for people. And you can say like let me share with you my story for when I started, and then you can kind of go into that, and then you talk about okay, let me share with you how it actually kind of happened, and then you can go into the practical. Because here's one of the things, Lorenzo. If you go
Yeah.
straight into practical, most people not will think, but could potentially think you just read it out of a book
Yeah.
and then you're sharing it with them.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, great. Like maybe this was helpful, maybe it wasn't, but like, who is this guy telling me this? If it was helpful, they're like, okay, great, but like, what does he do? So sometimes actually starting with a story, maybe in another video or within the same video, is twice as powerful, 10 times more powerful, because it provides context into what you're trying to educate on. Because sometimes when we educate, people are like, wait, who is this person to educate me? Even if it is practical and useful, we want to know who is this person,
Correct. Correct.
you know?
Yeah. Makes a lot of sense. Never thought of it that way.
Okay, so that was what, the fourth one?
Four.
Okay. And again, you have all the sub points
Yeah,
too.
so that
You
was
can
four.
even
So
you can even
how I
draw that
got
out over multiple
started,
days. But
how I got where I am now. Mindset, credit. Fifth will be um, team building, building a team.
okay.
Six, life outside of,
That's great.
business and everything.
That's great.
And can I talk about my mission, like my overall mission?
You tell me.
And that I would love to talk about, you know, the mission that I set out to, accomplish, or that I will accomplish. Although each one of these videos here, I'm basically, I guess, talking about what I learned, and my view of these things and how they help me. But I would love to talk about my mission, or what's my goal of the channel,
Yeah.
So I don't know if I do that within the first 6, or if I can separate that and make that 7.
Dude, it's yours. You're good to
Right.
do whatever. I mean, I can kind of guide you, but it's kind of going to be like throwing it out there. Like, it's not like it's going to make too big of a difference whether you do one thing. I mean, it's the beginning. And again, every single one of these things you're going to be saying again too. You better be repeating your mission all the time. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Hopefully
Yes.
within each video there's some sense of like mission drive, that you're like articulating, because they're going to be like, why's this guy like giving so much? And so okay, well, that's when you share your mission. You know what I'm saying? One thing that I was going to say within what you said as far as life outside of work, one of the
Yes.
things to keep in mind with a topic like that, because I believe if I was tracking right, that would have been a Friday, because it was day 6, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so that would have been a Friday. So that may actually be better to do on a Saturday, because think about that. What is a Saturday? Saturday's a weekend.
Right.
So people are going to see life outside of it. They're going to be like, oh, it's a weekend. Okay, let's see what Lorenzo's up to. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just small things like that are, you don't need to, but perhaps would be better, because if people see life outside of work and it's a Friday, possibly, but Saturdays, I would say, are more common to be outside of work.
Right.
So
I agree. Friday, I'm always working.
and probably some Saturday too.
Yeah, some set, man. Shoot, I work more than ever, dude, around the clock.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But
No.
yeah, man, that's good. That's something that I want to be honest, man. I don't want to. I know that we're recording and stuff like that, but I'm not afraid to say, like, I didn't know how to set this stuff up.
No, dude, that's great. No, that's great. And frankly, dude, the more you can say I don't know, the more successful you'll be.
Right, I believe
You know why? Because people are going to help you, because they have more knowledge. Dude, I don't care if you've read 10,000 books.
Right.
Humans together are more smart, more intelligent than one individual, because you get new perspectives. I've talked about this a lot, like with some of my friends. I absolutely love people when they disagree with me, because all it can do is educate me. I don't know all the perspectives. So whenever someone goes, hey, bro, you are way wrong, instead of letting that be embarrassing, although sometimes it can be, you still with me? Yeah, okay.
Yes, sir.
Although sometimes it can be embarrassing, it's frankly very, very helpful as long as you're humble, because it's like, okay, that's a new perspective. Some have more legitimacy than others, but everything's there to teach you, bro. So yeah, it's good to say I don't know, because then it allows people to help. And then when they help you, they actually feel closer to you, because there's a sense of, there's a bond now. I helped this person with this,
Yeah. Like now, man, that's awesome. Thank you for helping me see it that way.
Yeah.
You just helped me see it that way.
There you go. And hopefully too, one of the things, at least to keep doing this, one, because it's going to provide you some ease throughout the week, because you're going to be thinking about work, bro. You don't want to have to then get creative after being all logical, because dude, the amount of juices and the amount of energy that can take is a lot. And so sometimes, like, doing this like on a Saturday night when you're more relaxed and you don't have as much going on,
Yes.
it's one of the best things you can do if you're wanting to actually be serious with content, because now you don't have to think throughout the week. You're like, oh, okay, that was my plan. Okay, record the video now, and you already know what you're going to talk about. So doing this, especially in the beginning, can be extremely helpful when it comes to stress throughout the week, because you're dealing with a lot of other things.
Yes, sir.
So
is that how you do it? Just pick one day. I know you're always on top of your game, but so is it like one day that you really have that free time that you kind of plan your week out on what you're going to focus on?
Yeah, so if you remember from last week, I only have 2 of the days that I'm doing um, series on both of those days. On the Saturdays, I'm doing side hustles. On Mondays, I do marketing, and so I have the books ready for that, and some of the plans ready for the side hustles. But on the other days, sometimes I'll plan it out a day before. I always do at least a day before. But
Mm-hmm.
sometimes, like when I'm on like a binge with something, and I want to say like a lot of different things instead of doing one long video, I go, okay, that's a topic, that's a topic, that's a topic, all within this topic. And so I just go, okay, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, these next 3 days, I'll talk about whatever it is that I'm doing. And sometimes if my brain's just popping off with ideas, then I'll do what I just did with you. And
Right.
okay, here's the next, 7 or 8 videos.
Okay. I
So
like. How many are you up to now?
let's see, today is April 3rd. So however many days have been this year, like 94, 95 straight that I've recorded
Dude.
now. I think I have close to 200 on my channel now because I did like 70 something in the fall of 2019, and I did a couple just sporadically last year. But now I'm almost on 100. I'm almost on the 100 mark for 100 days straight. So
You're
it,
awesome, dude. You rock, man. You
it's
rock.
exciting, bro. I'm trying to go for 365, and then hopefully just by that point it's a habit, and I'm just thinking about a topic each day and just spouting it off. Because, dude, I'm telling you, this is what I told my roommates too. I mean, sure, maybe I got some good ideas for some things, but I'm like, honestly, I'm more betting rather than on my talent. I'm just betting on numbers, bro. I'm like, eventually, I mean, perhaps people, it'll come faster because of different ideas, but also maybe not. And I'm okay if it's not. I'm just gonna commit to doing one a day because it's also teaching me, man. It's not just about the result. It's about like who I'm becoming, what I'm learning. It's about learning, more as I'm sharing my thoughts, getting clearer with articulation. It's there's a lot more than just getting to a certain subscriber, amount or whatever else that entails. A lot of it is more what am I becoming with it. So that's why I've committed to the once a day, simple videos.
I love it. And if I can elaborate on that, from my studies, that's what I noticed. A lot of the people that um that have big channels or that are big on social media put out a lot of content.
A lot.
A lot. Like, you look at this person that may have 500 followers and they only have maybe 20 or 43 posts. And then you look at this guy that's constantly, doing what we're both doing, educating people. And he may have 20,000 followers, but he has 2,900
That's right.
posts. That outdoes that 43 posts any day. And
That's right.
so I did notice that. So what you're doing is
Mm-hmm.
it's great, man.
Yeah,
It's
and
great.
one of the things that I've kind of taken for myself too is the idea of it's good to be humble, like overall, but if you have to choose between being perceived as either humble in words or action, it's way better to be perceived in action and be perceived as cocky in words because of this. Here's what I learned for myself. Being humble in words is saying, oh, or let me put it the other way. Being humble in action is, okay, I may be good, I may not, I think I am, but I don't know. So I'm going to put a video out a day because
Mhm.
I'm willing to be critiqued. Whereas the other side is, oh, maybe they don't want to come off as, oh, like I'm good or anything like that. But when you're only putting out like one video every so often, at least this is my perception, it's actually, in my opinion, thinking higher of yourself than you should because you're not willing to submit your work to be critiqued from the public. When I'm like,
Yeah.
in actuality, most likely your first 500 videos aren't even going to get viewed. I mean, they will, but like really, really small. So
Right.
I'd rather be critiqued, like, and maybe I didn't even articulate what my point was well, but like, I'd rather be humble in action by constantly putting out imperfect work rather than
Hmm.
being humble in speech, but being very cocky in action because I'm never putting out work because nothing's ever good enough. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just my kind of perception with that.
And that's why what you're doing is just going to blow up, man.
I hope.
No,
Well,
it will,
kind of.
man.
I kind of do. I kind of don't. I mean, I don't know, bro. I'm kind of weird like that. Like, I kind of do want to. This is a weird part about my brain. Like, I almost like the odds more, or I love beginnings, bro. I love like smallness. I love like the grit, the hustle, the grind. Like, because even the little bit of success that I tasted in high school with like the landscaping and whatnot, bro,
Yeah.
like once you start getting referral, I mean, bro, it's just like clockwork. Like people come to you. So like, I mean, it's great, but I love the beginning part where like no one thinks you're anything, and like you just do it every day. Like, I love that stuff, man. I mean, that gets me excited. So yes, I mean, eventually I do hope, it gets more well known and, there's different opportunities, but I treasure the early days personally. I love it.
Yeah, man, but I know once it come to you, you'll be able to adjust and pivot. I
Yeah.
don't think it will knock you off course because of the way that you think.
Mhm.
You're so like dead on. I know I say it all the time, like, dude, not even how do you do that? Like from the day I met you, it's just like this dude is sure. You're always so sure, like you said, you're confident, you're humble, but you're confident at the same time. So with that being said, I know that you'll adjust well. Either way that it comes, man. You're prepared. You're more prepared than I know. You are prepared.
Either
So
way,
I just want to
either
say
way,
that.
whether I'm helping one bro or a million, to me, it don't change. Just trying to help. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I know that's the same. It's the same thing for you.
Right.
I know you eventually want to get to, where you're trying to go and whatnot, but like,
Mm-hmm.
this, it feels great when you get to help that one person. And when you
Yep.
are small, and it's like this, it's like what this is right now, bro. Like, let's say we both go, you and I are gonna look back and go, but those were special days, bro. Those were
Yeah.
special days. I'm like, no, everyone knows now. Okay, great, great, but like those were special days. That's gonna be the case. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yes, sir.
So, those, I don't know, man. Those are the type of things that like I treasure with it. But you're right. We'll eventually pivot. We'll eventually get to the other places, and that'll go. So, anyways, does that feel clear on where you're kind of going this week, what the game plan is, keeping in mind your message, who you want to be, having it be authentic. Like, don't try to be someone you're not with all those. Just share your story, man. Sharing those things and keeping in mind, who you're going after.
Yes, sir. It is clear. I do feel like I'm going to have to. Hey, you guys. How are you? Thanks for coming. Yeah, I'm talking to Paul. The family says hello, dude.
Hello.
The baby says hello. All right. So I'm clear, but again, I'm going to be honest. I do feel like, and you said it was okay to, in the beginning, kind of like write things down, like kind of like script it out. I know I can talk about it,
Yeah.
but I'm being a camera talking to myself. So
Yeah. And dude, it feels weird. Like you're going to be looking back at yourself and like, oh, this is a little weird. It's true. So, hey, and you know what, bro? If you got to just stop it and like even laugh at yourself a little bit, do that too, man. Like you can just click record, laugh a little bit. What am I doing? Okay, this is what I'm doing. Okay, delete. Okay, let me try this again. Let me try this again. Like, feel free to do it, many times. But the end goal is just making sure you're putting out a piece of imperfect content every day, because it won't be perfect, especially
right. So no edits, just like raw and uncut.
No. You can do what you want. What I mean by imperfect, like you can edit. Please feel free. What I mean by imperfect is you're never gonna nail it exactly how you want. And even in the times that you do, okay, great, it was perfect for you. But someone's gonna be like, bro, what is this? And you'll be like, oh no, like that wasn't perfect. Like it's subjective is what I'm saying. So what I mean by imperfect is not have anything to do with editing. It has to do with like the final product of what like the video is in itself.
Okay. I like that. So do you get better from, I know that you were saying, I don't think that this is really off topic, but I know that you were saying you're willing to put out as much content and be critiqued. So do you use the comments from your videos to kind of work on yourself down the line? Or
Yeah,
do you
and
go
I have not.
look at that video yourself?
Yeah, and I have not yet received the following to have like a lot of comments on, oh, this is that.
Hmm.
Occasionally I'll have like a comment like, oh, like this is like spot on, like this is helpful, and like to that I'll say thanks. But remember how I was talking to you, I think in like week 2 or something like that, about
Yes.
you have the option to choose on what you're going to listen to and what you don't. There are some people who listen to everything and their emotions go. There are some people who don't even look at the comments, so they don't even know if their people are liking them or hating them or what. And then there are other people who take everything with a grain of salt. For me, if someone were to say you suck, I'd say, like in my own head, I may be like, okay, what is he talking about? Maybe he didn't like something. It's possible that he could be having a bad day, or it's literally possible maybe I'm not there yet. Maybe the idea was good, but maybe the execution of it wasn't good. There's so many different things. So it's I take everything with a grain of salt. Someone could say, oh, like that was the best thing ever. Well, obviously it's not the best thing ever because there's always room to improve. So, the compliments aren't as good as they seem, and the harsh comments aren't as bad. The best thing you can do is, what specifically do I think that they were talking about within it? Because if they really like something, maybe it's that I just connected with them. Maybe they didn't even like, because if you go, okay, what'd you take away? And they're like, oh, it was just good. Well, they probably just connected with you. They probably weren't really like hearing. They were trying, and oh, it was like so bad. Oh, what'd you not like about it? Uh, just the whole thing. It's like, okay, well, the whole thing wasn't trash. I mean, potentially it would be, but like that, you know what I'm saying? These are just kind of extremes. So, yeah, I would say just take everything with a grain of salt, but you're gonna have to decide that for yourself. What type of responses you're gonna want.
I love it, man. Well said. Very well said. Right on. Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
Oh yeah, man. You hit that. You nailed it. That's it,
Any
man.
any other questions before we go ahead and wrap up here pretty soon? Do you feel clear on this next week?
So I do have everything written down.
Okay.
The topics that I did choose, I do want to make sure they all, tie back into my overall mission, and they focus on the audience that I want to grasp.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm pretty,
Okay.
I'm pretty clear on that. I'm not clear on, and I was thinking about this earlier, and outside of the cologne that the kids were spraying, I believe it was giving me a headache too, because, like I said, trucking is what I do.
Yeah.
Trucking is what I do. I do want to teach people about trucking, but what allows me to survive within this business is way bigger than trucking itself. Trucking is just like something. Trucking is what provides for my family. Trucking allows me to, have that life outside of business, but I'm getting mixed up because yes, I do want to talk about trucks, but everybody may not, see the business the way that I see it or want to enter the business the way that I did it. I went out and drove because I didn't have anybody to just give me, $100,000 in capital. So I went out there and I worked my tail off to get the money to be able to position myself to be here. But that mindset that, I had to adopt or I had to, develop is really what I want to focus on. And I'm glad that I'm saying this because I feel that relief. I feel like you're going to have the answer. I'm going to be blessed with the answer because
I could be wrong, and I'm gonna stop you there. I was waiting the whole time, but I could be wrong. But you're gonna laugh and you're gonna say you're right. I think at least. You know how you do that, Lorenzo? Do you know how you do that? Just by doing exactly what you just did. You just did it. You just did it in conversation with me. You just did it. I knew exactly where you were going, and I was like,
Yeah.
he doesn't know where he's going he's doing what he says he's wanting to do. You just currently did it on camera as it's recording.
Mhm.
Hey,
Yep.
this is my story. This is kind of where I came from, but like, you know, da, 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 da. You just did it, man. So in
Yep.
your stories, bro, you like have your, you know, instruction, have all that stuff, and then just keep going. Like literally exactly because it was natural. It was natural. It's on your
Yeah.
heart. It's going to flow out. Just don't view it as two separate
Mhm.
things. The only reason why there's like a disconnection for you is because you're in your
Mhm.
head, you're viewing it as two separate things when it's just one
Right.
story. It's just one
Mhm.
story. So just keep telling it like the story because you just did. There is
I
no,
love you.
there is
I appreciate.
nothing, there is nothing practical like about it that you're missing. You just did.
Right. Yep. I
So
just have
there's your
that
answer, bro.
disc. Yeah, man. Damn, spot on, man.
Yep.
Bless you, dude. That's
That's
my
why I was
dog,
smiling the
man.
whole time, bro. I know you saw me smiling. I was like, I know where this brother's going right now. And so that's good at least. You don't got to learn anything new. You just got to talk,
Mhm.
just like what you just did, and share it from your heart because obviously it has affected your heart so much to where you even are starting this journey in the first place. Because you got to understand,
Mhm.
bro, many people have walked in your shoes. You know, they didn't
Yeah.
have a lot, they hustled, they grinded. Okay, then they started. But then they went off and lived. And remember what I said, having a voice in an industry is different from just being in the
Yep.
industry and affecting, like you were doing two separate things. So it's obviously affected you so much to where you're willing to move into the voice and
Mhm.
starting to share it. So I'm telling you, bro, just keep sharing your story and it's gonna flow. It'll flow. It's not two separate things.
And that's how I was viewing it, as two separate things.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm glad that I have somebody like you that can, you caught on, you corrected that early.
Yep.
So I appreciate that, dude.
For sure, man.
It always gets so like emotional for me at the end, like, man, I appreciate that, dude.
That's good. That's good.
But yeah, man, thanks, Paulie.
Mm-hmm.
So does mom and everything have dinner and everything prepped for the night or for
Oh no,
tomorrow?
man. We already ate. We had s'mores before. We were out by the fire.
What,
It was
man?
good. It was good.
That's
Yep.
awesome. That's awesome. How's your sister?
Everyone's doing great. I actually just got off the phone with her prior to even making my way over here. So she called me from Iowa, and her husband was out doing whatever. So she just wanted someone to talk to. So it was great talking with her. And I think we're going to see other siblings hopefully tomorrow for Easter. So that'll be good.
Man, that's a blessing. Then back to school from there.
Mm-hmm.
All
Yep.
right. Awesome, man. What a great weekend, man. Well, you